Rick and Morty, Spencer. Welcome, my friends. So, this is amazing. It's so great to see all of you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for being here.
Quick question, who has been to C2E2 before?
First time, and it's awesome.
It is the first time for everyone. Oh, well, you chose a perfect year. We're celebrating 15 years. So, y'all, it's such a pleasure to have you here. I'd love to get started and just talk a bit about sort of your origin stories, how you came to be on Rick and Morty and your audition experience, because I know we're gonna have some fun when we get to that, Harry Ian.
I have been there from the beginning, and I think it was almost 13 years ago that I went in to audition for Rick and Morty. I was very pregnant at the time, and so when they called me in for a callback, they were like, you didn't sound as pregnant. I was like 8 months pregnant so I've been on the show for a really long time, but it's been an absolute pleasure. That's basically my origin story. And then they recast some people, but I stayed. They kept me the whole time.
I've been an actor since I was a kid, and so when the audition came up, Rick's voice had always been an impression and a party trick for me, and then I said, maybe I should give this a shot, and it was a 6-month audition process. The producers and our showrunners listened to a lot of voices, saw a lot of people, and put us through the ringer a little bit. They had us do a lot more than you would do for a normal audition. So, at the end of those 6 months, got the job, very happy to be Rick. It's been a very exciting journey, and I'm really excited to see where Rick goes in the seasons to come.
I was born on a hot summer night here in Chicago. But yes, very much like Ian, I've been acting my whole life, I was also a massive fan of Rick and Morty. So when I heard that they, that they were going to need to find a new Rick and/or Morty, I was like, I can take a whack at that. I'm not going to get it, but it'll be fun to try. So it's cool to go from doing funny voices with your friends and family and stuff to being like, you know what, something could be here. Let me actually work on this and practice this. So yeah, I couldn't be more honored to join such an immensely talented cast and creative team.
Chris, Harry, you mentioned they threw some curveballs at y'all during the audition process. Can you two speak to any of those curveballs you did?
Yeah. It was so long ago now, but it was just I remember a lot of things Scott Martyr would say, he'd be like, okay, we would never actually do this on the show, but let's have Morty just be, really incredibly aggressive here, even though the scene calls for a really sweet Morty. It was more so just to see our range, because the scripts they had for us, obviously they couldn't write out every single thing that they wanted to showcase. So it was really more just what if Morty was a little bit more like Rick here? What if he was channeling, a little bit more of that Rick energy, which I find helps when playing evil Morty. So it kind of works in our favor that way.
They had me do progressively more intense screaming in one of the audition rounds. And I should say that they're very good about vocal health. They want to make sure that we don't burn our voices out. But there was one day when they said, no, we need that a little bigger. We need that a lot. Now you're going to be more Rick with it. Now just completely psychotic. And so round after round of that was a lot of fun and a lot of work.
It's your turn.
My turn?
Chris, where did you come from?
Well, first of all, I just want to say how fabulous it is to have these two gentlemen as a part of the show. to have tattooed guys who are so good at it, and then who are also so excited to do the show and play these characters is great. You know, it feels good, and we all like each other. Do we?
Yeah, it's young yet, you know, we have time. We've got a few seasons, we'll see how we do.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's you know, we've only done a few events together, but so far it's just been a lot of fun. I'm very thankful we've found our new Rick and Morty. Yeah, I mean, I like Spencer. I was part of the show from the beginning, and luckily they offered it to me, which is great because when I audition for things, I pretty much never get them. So it was good. It was an offer. But yeah, we went. I guess we went through a couple of Beths before we landed with Sarah. Who, yeah, I mean, amazing. Beth and Beth. Yeah. But yeah, it's been, I mean, look, you know, when you do a pilot, when you do something, you never know how long it's going to go, if it's going to go at all. And then to get to be a part of a show like this for so long, a show that you can be so proud of, so well written, you know, I feel very lucky. You know, so, yeah.
I just want to point out that in the short time that we've been together out here, y'all have complimented each other so many times, and I love that energy that is coming from this cast. So you record separately. What was it like when y'all actually first got to be in the room together, and where was that?
The Christmas party.
The Christmas
I think.
party?
Yeah. The Rick and Morty Christmas party.
Took a family photo next to a Christmas tree. It was really wholesome.
Yeah, it was really sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
That's when the complimenting began.
We all
Christmas spirit, nice sweater.
by Christmas period, even Stockholm. So.
But there was also a party. We weren't just drinking together in a room quietly. There was a lot of other people there.
That's true.
All the partying. There were.
Is there a group text where y'all just validate each other
We
again?
just started one for this trip, actually.
Did you name it?
No, but I'm thinking of new, but there's a group text for us two, all four of us, about what we're doing collectively in Chicago, and none of us have hung out except for them. But,
Harry keeps pointing out things that we should go for sightseeing.
yes.
Yeah, the local stuff.
Yeah. I'm their tour guide. Yeah. It's been fun.
We need like a WhatsApp with everybody. We're on a what is it called? Softball.
Yeah, we play
Sorry,
softball
guys.
together. Yeah.
We play softball together on a Rick and Morty team. So some of the animators, yeah. And we kick butt. We lose a lot. We're in league F. You know, I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys.
we get our butts kicked.
You know, but I'm really fast, and that's about it. That's all I'm good at. And team spirit.
So, for a show like Rick and Morty, where there are so many absurd elements, but also so much where you dig into family trauma, where you dig into mental health, how do you ground all of that in the absurdity?
I guess I just sort of, take my own personal life and then apply it with a really kind of girly, summery accent. That's kind of what I do. What do you guys do?
I think we all use humor to cope, and so we're given these amazing storylines, and it's sometimes just great one-liners that can really, they cut deep for a reason, and it's always about bringing myself to the role as best I can. But I think that's why the show also reaches so many people, is because it's hitting on some heavy subjects, but in a way that can make you laugh, make you cry, and gets to the heart of things.
Yeah, exactly. The absurdity is so situational, these crazy things that are happening to these people, but there's still things that are happening to like real people in the world of the show. So it's just kind of remembering that, like that when you watch it, yes, this is nuts and so weird and so funny, but these people have to live with it. So just remembering that they're just humans.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just acting, really. And so you just try to be present, even though you're just looking at a script or occasionally at a screen. But yeah, that for me is always the challenge, is to not just phone it in, kind of, or to not just say the lines a few different ways, but to try to really connect with the material. And be like, be Jerry, and I'm talking to Summer, or, you know, Rick, or whatever. So that for me is the thing I always have to remember and just like invest in it emotionally to the degree that it needs to be. Some of it's obviously a lot heavier than other parts, so I think it's fun.
And Spencer, you mentioned a little bit of the sort of things that you've experienced in your own life, and I read that you picked up guitar, you started learning guitar, and you recently had your debut as lead vocals.
You co-lead vocals, okay? Not just me. I did. Yes, I don't know if you guys know, but in 2020, July 2020, I was stabbed in a violent altercation of some kind. So I had major surgery on my right arm, and then I lost feeling in my right hand, most of my right hand. It's just tingling now. I still have trouble with fine motor skills, but I was told to pick up an instrument to help heal and help heal with the neuroplasticity, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And then that kind of led to today, I guess, 3.5 years almost later, and I just started singing and playing guitar, and yeah, I'm gonna play at a wedding in a couple of weeks. I don't know whose wedding, somebody booked me, I don't know. Maybe a couple of songs after this. It's gonna be weird that I like, oh, I also do the voice of Summer, but yes, thank you so much for having me at your wedding.
But you have stopped knife fighting for money, though, right?
Yeah, no, the side hustle had to go away. You know, I started doing these instead just to really compensate for that. But no, thank you for bringing that up. It's been an incredible journey for me. And I think it's also just a really lovely thing to know that no matter how old you get or no matter what kind of injuries you might have, if you're willing to just practice a little bit every day, willing to suck a little bit in the process, that you can kind of do anything you want in this world, you know? But I do practice a lot. I brought a travel guitar, so my hotel guests next door really love me.
Is the ukulele smaller?
It's a smaller little baby Taylor, yeah. It kind of, people are like, it's a ukulele. I'm like, no, it's just a regular guitar. There are 5 strings, it's fine.
There's gonna be so many people with their ear against the wall tonight, like, is that a guitar? Is that Spencer? Harry, I read that you studied opera.
Oh, man. Where did you hear that?
Internet. And also I chatted with your family.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Wait, can you do opera now, or are you
No,
moved up?
I don't sing opera.
Yeah! Woo!
Sing together.
No, here's what happened.
Music comes from the heart, Morty.
You know, the lyric opera, you know, over that way maybe. What they do is they are really great about hiring actors, and they'll hire actors to do, like I did Fiddler on the Roof, and they just want to have actors to be there and just like add to the life of the show, you know. So it was like I was, you know, in Fiddler on the Roof, I was like Onatevkin Villager 1, and you know, Russian Soldier number 2, who like goes and destroys the wedding and all that, you know. So I wound up doing like 4 of those operas. But you know, they don't let us sing, they don't let us talk. It's just, you know, it was just work. And I got to say that I worked with lyric opera. So I have 4 lyric opera Chicago credits on my resume, but I don't sing opera. So I think like, I don't know, I might have to do something about that. I'll put a little asterisk that says like, I was just there, you know. Yeah, good question.
And Ian, you're from the Boston area.
I am, yes.
And I read that you did some TYA up there. Theater for Young Audience. Theater
Yes,
in the Boston area.
I started doing children's theater in and around Boston, for sure. That was my origin.
And Chris also has a history of doing children's theater in New England.
A little bit, yes I have.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of stage experience on stage here. Can y'all talk a bit about sort of the difference in that process for you from when you're doing a stage role or a live performance or when you're doing voiceover?
Who wants to start?
Well, you were saying, Chris, that, you know, at the end of the day, it is acting. So from a craft perspective, you're still approaching the role the same way you might. And then there's just different ways you take care of your instrument, particularly for roles such as Rick and Morty, which are very demanding on the voice. So technically, there's different things you can do to prepare, but at the end of the day, you know, you want to dig into the script and the life of these human beings on the page and bring them to life. Theater is very demanding on any actor because because you have to be able to sustain, and whether you're on Broadway or the Lyric, you're doing multiple shows every single week, and that takes a toll. So you need to build stamina. And a 3-hour voice session, like we do for the show, you know, might not seem like the same amount of work, but it's condensed. So if you can sustain in theater, it will serve you as a voice actor and on set, I would say.
Yeah,
certainly helped me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the same. Yeah, as I've been doing more singing and more Rick and Morty and all the other things I do, I really do take much better care of my voice to make sure that I can keep doing all of those things forever. Yeah, basically.
100 years.
100 years, obviously, if we can make it. No, but and there's a lot of care that goes into it, like what you drink, what time you go to bed, how much you talk to people you don't like, you know, things like that.
So let's imagine you play these characters for 100 years. Where would you like to see these characters go? Whether it be a physical location or character development?
I mean, I don't know if there's anywhere we can't go. Like, you know, the way that the show is set up, it's really, we can go anywhere at any time in any particular genre. I mean, it'd be fun to like have accents, you know?
Yeah.
Good luck, guys.
There's no limit, though, you're right. Just add more onto it. There's a few references in season 7 of Adventures that we haven't seen depicted, like Isle of the Morty Swords, and some of the clip show episodes where it's just a title or a theme that's glossed over. I'd like to revisit maybe some of those and see and unpack what those adventures really were. So that might be fun.
Speaking of theater, I thought this just came to me, this brilliant idea. It would be fun for them to go to like a Shakespeare world where everybody speaks in Shakespearean.
Ooh, yeah.
I love that idea.
Doth that protest too much? Oh my god.
Can't understand anything.
Yeah, the quality of mercy is not strained.
A more summer night's dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what other ones do I know?
Can you tell we're theater kids?
Yes! I was like, I've done nothing but care of thee. Oh my god.
Ian, you touched on this earlier, but you talked in an interview about playing a character that you've been a fan of. And, you know, going into this process, was there anything that surprised y'all, you know, going into the booth and starting this process about how the show is recorded or how the script happens for y'all?
Sure. Yeah, I've been a fan since season 1. Followed it every step of the way. Love the show, love the writing, love the characters. So to be able to step into the shoes of Rick is, I mean, it is quite literally a dream come true. And the thing that was most surprising, I think, is just the switch from it being just an impression and a fun thing I'll, pull up to amuse my friends or myself or my poor wife who has to listen to me do this all the time. And the demand in the room, in the booth, to keep it consistent and give all kinds of different options for a line and to really explore the acting side of it. The demand on sustaining the voice is far more than an impression, so I had to kind of almost start from square one in how I approached doing the voice from when I started auditioning to what I do now. That was, yeah.
How many hours do you think how many hours till you felt like you were like really in?
In my mind, I'm still, every time I walk in the booth, I'm saying, all right, I gotta get there again, So I try to approach every new episode as a new opportunity to discover Rick's voice. So there wasn't a moment where I thought, oh yeah, I got this. I still walk in and I say, all right, I gotta do my prep, because that line fell out. I gotta come back to center. And luckily, we have a great team with us when we do record. We're alone in the sense that we don't have our other fellow actors, but we do have a team that's working with us, and they're very supportive every step of the way and offering creative ideas. So there is that collaborative process that I think keeps me going. Yeah.
Chris, Jerry is not an alpha male. There is a daycare for the infinite versions of him, because
He's still on Alpha. Well, no, the first one where everyone dies, he's the only one left alive on that planet in the Cronenberg world. But sorry.
no, I love. Can you be my co-host?
Correction.
There's one Alpha Jerry. He's awesome. He's got like a great cool outfit and like a sword or something, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in playing a character like Jerry, you know, what draws you to a character where we have a lot of representation of that sort of alpha male version, and this except for that one episode, this
Couples episode where they go to the, you know which one? The couples therapy episode? Yeah.
what draws you to a character like this, where you get to sort of play that beta male, short of 2 episodes?
The money. You know, it's great to get to play a character that is so well written, as all these characters are. So that makes a huge difference. And it's, you know, it's all there on the page. And this is something that everybody always says, and rightly so, that Jerry sounds just like me. But when I do Jerry, I get into a little bit of a different headspace. So to me, Jerry sounds different, you know, than this. Jerry tends to not talk in quite a lower register as I do, I think. But yeah, I mean, I work to make Jerry sound different, you guys. So please appreciate that. I don't work hard enough, probably. But no, it's a great job.
And Spencer, you had an episode where you were used with Morty.
Yeah.
So
the Quado episode.
Yeah, so when you go in as someone that is deeply familiar with this character that you played, and now you have to take on and sort of use with attributes of a different character, can you talk about how that was for you?
Well, Morty gets separated from me quite quickly, so mostly I just was doing like a die-hard version of Summer in that episode, mixed with a lot of my social insecurities around men, you know, because she's like flirting and, you know. I was like a really I always say this, I was like kind of an awkward teenager. I mean, I'm still kind of awkward, but I like learned how to dress up, okay? Right?
You're not awkward at all, no.
He says that lovingly, sarcastically. So no, I kind of just bring a lot of my own personality to it, but I also get to be basically an action star half the time now, which is fucking awesome. I love the Summer, right? The Summer is a kick butt all the time. It's like the best. I don't get to, well, I guess I'm in knife fights, so I guess I technically do it in my personal life as well. Didn't realize it would transfer over so much, you know, life, art, balance, they influence each other. No, it's definitely, that episode, whenever I have a big episode, it's just a really wonderful way to be able to act and more, to show more coloration and personality and emotion to a character that I do know so well. It's exciting for me.
So we are going to be switching to our Q&A soon. So I want to remind you all, we're going to pop that QR code back up on the screen for you. So what you can do is you can scan that QR code and you can submit your question, and then we'll be going through those questions. Oh wow, that was fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They're so much better at technology than me. So while we're getting that set up, just one other question for me. You know, how much freedom do you have to improvise or adjust lines when you're filming or recording rather?
I mean, a little, but not a lot. You know, they've written this show. Now the way we record is like they write it, they sort of record it for a while, they rewrite a lot. And then when we come in, the show, the script is pretty much, very much tightly done and figured out. Sometimes it changes a little bit after we record it. I think we always kind of infuse some of our personalities, so some of the scenes can change a little bit, but mostly we do what they say. Yeah, it's very totalitarian.
Yeah, maybe. They're always open to a new take or a different take, but they don't always go with it. They're pretty set on what they've written, and The burps, though, they can go anywhere, and there will be more burps.
Yeah, same with Morty stammering. Yeah, the pepper, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna switch to our Q&A, and the first one just flew out, but I have it memorized. It's brief. Who's
Was it a fun phone call?
And then he plays this super unhinged character, but he's playing himself. It's fantastic. Oh yeah, he didn't come to our Christmas party. I know. I was hoping you'd do a duet.
Doesn't Dan play Bird Person?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say Dan Harmon is my favorite.
Aww.
Watching that? Are you watching? I was like when David Cross does it.
Cross was great. Peter Dinklage was amazing. Right? He did such a great. He was Story-Lord, right? Is that right?
He was in the Die Hard. You're Die Hard.
Oh, right. He was the Die Hard
Yeah.
guy. That was
Yeah.
Who played Story-Lord? He was great too.
You putting us on the spot right now?
You guys should know. And I also love like Susan Sarandon's always a big
Yes.
thing. I love that Alfred Molina played
The devil.
the devil. That used to be my favorite episode.
That was
I really, yeah.
I was-
He's the devil is active in the community. At least he has a job.
Not wrong.
I was happy that Unity made a return in season 7 too. That was fun to see in Hendrix. Yeah, I mean, just
Lee
amazing.
Schreiber in the finale. Yeah, as the stranger from the whole stranger.
Well, we've got Kari Werber, no,
Kari Wahlgren.
Kari Wahlgren. Kari
Yeah.
Werber is from early MTV days. Sorry. Yeah, Kari Wahlgren she plays so many voices on the show.
Like Jessica. She does Jessica and the car. She does Rick's car as well.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Diane.
so
And
versatile.
Diane.
Yeah, I mean, she has almost like another regular cast member, she's just in there so much, even though I don't remember her name. But Kari Wahlgren, Kari, like Ferrari.
Yeah. Did you know that we were in a Groundlings together, me and Kari?
No.
Yeah, so the first Groundlings class, I mean, I don't do a lot of improv, but, I'm always taking classes because you gotta keep your instrument, supple. So we were in a class together, it was like Groundlings 101 or whatever, and we were like, you have to make up a little thing, and she would be like, Kari, like Ferrari, it's like Spencer, like dispenser. That's a great one, But I didn't know, and this was before I got Rick and Morty, and then she was at the first panel we ever had when no one had seen Rick and Morty at Comic-Con. She was there, I think you were there. Were you there? Yeah, you were also there. And I was like, oh my god, wait, Kari like Ferrari, you're here? You're on the show? This is crazy! And it was just very exciting. So anyway, that's how small LA is and how everyone ends up on the same TV shows. So there you go.
so great? Thank you for sharing that. So next question, we all know that the show gets outrageous sometimes. Are there any sort of scenes that when y'all were recording, you had to struggle to keep from laughing?
No.
I think the scene where it's the end of the world ones where I had to be like, ooh, I'm gonna eat so much ass. Like, I was like, all the ass was like, God, who wrote this? How long have you been waiting for me to go, like, I did that for a bit and I was laughing hysterically when we did it, but, they give me the good one-liners,
It's always funny to see the first cut with the voices cut into it, not just the temps. So whenever living with the script and hearing it a certain way, and then all of a sudden I'll hear Chris or I'll hear Harry in the lines, and so coming to life in that way is always really funny. The very opening of Spaghetti Planet was just outrageously over the top, excited, happy, totally different from the tone of the show in most episodes. So to just go in, fully excited and hyped up about the spaghetti before you know what it is, and if you don't know what it is, yeah. But yeah, that was really funny.
You'll find out, underscored by Oasis. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to answer.
One for me was the I don't actually think I wound up being used, but when Morty turns into a boat in episode 6, I had to. We were like, let's get some lines where he's like taking in water, you know, like in between the lines, you know. So like it's like, oh, you know, sometimes like, and we were like, should I just really do it? Like I'll just go like gargle the water. So we had it was like 3 minutes of me just being like, oh, let me get it. They didn't use it.
They weren't even recording.
They're cracking up behind the glass, you know. It's fun for them.
They're just warming you up.
Is it hard for me to not laugh in any episodes?
The question, they moved.
Oh, sorry, did we change questions?
It was about, were there any scenes that when you were recording, they were just so funny you were struggling not to laugh?
No. I mean, I think the show's very funny, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, you know, I'm in there by myself, and you know, sometimes I'll get a direction from Scott Martyr, maybe that will make me laugh, you know. But yeah, it's not usually. I don't think so. I mean, if there are, I won't be able to remember it because I have a terrible memory. So there might have been a moment. I don't know.
So what scene or quote do y'all think best embodies your character?
Don't be a Jerry. Right? I think that's a quote. Is that a quote? I think so. I don't know.
I think that's my quote.
Is that what it is? Oh,
Yeah, don't be a cherry.
Oh, but you're right. But you're right, yeah.
Good advice, though.
I think oh jeez is just so good. Oh jeez, you know?
Oh, jeez.
I don't think it gets any more Morty than that.
You know, like, let's lick tits, I guess. It's just like 3 words, it's easy to remember, it feels like something I would say in real life, so.
Hungry for apples.
It's my favorite episode. Yeah, it's so good. You're so good at it. It's an Oscar-winning performance, I think.
Which alien race from the show do you find the most creative and why?
I like the number people.
Americans.
Yeah, Americans. Yeah.
It's just like when somebody asks you, like, what show are you watching right now? And I'm like, I don't know. Ghost Adventures or something. You know, like, just not, I can't remember. Like, the news.
U2, yeah. I would agree with the number ones. I enjoyed that episode a lot because it wasn't Rick-centric at all. So I got to, in the middle of our first season, kind of watch as a fan again, just as a fan, and hadn't really seen many of the cuts.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in that either. Am I? I may not be in that one either. So maybe that's why.
You don't remember, but we watched it together. And whole thing.
Sorry.
No, there's too many. I mean, bird person world, I kind of loved when it was like the Battle of Blood Ridge. Like, that was interesting. I wish we could revisit more of that, like, wartime, you know? Could have more war memories in the show, maybe. I love PTSD, you know, just you know, my own life in the show, just...
I mean, I also would like my own planet with my own bathroom, you know? I mean, I think everybody relate to that, their own poop planet.
It's called my bathroom.
There's no animal, I mean, there's no beings there that are really interacted with, but I think that's the point, you know?
This question is very...
No, I was just gonna say, I like the Glores of aliens. You know, Glory.
Yeah.
You know, I thought those were super creative, semi-parasitic race. Yeah, that's me.
You don't know anything about my story, that one?
Yes.
This question is very straightforward. It is musical episode question mark. So I'd love to know, if you did a musical episode, what would your solo be for your character?
Opera Harry.
Russian soldier.
Can Morty sing opera?
Where he stands quietly in the corner and doesn't sing.
Be Jerry.
They don't know I'm an opera singer. What does that mean?
You know, I had that, like, Summer and Tinkles, Friends with Each Other, Living Together in that time world, right, that song? Maybe I'd, like, go to that place again. I don't know, it's obviously maybe I'm in like a Korean pop band, like a K-pop band. Right?
So summer.
But there's like a bunch of summers. There's like 4 summers, but with different outfits that represent different like types of me, you know? Like punk rock summer and then like super girly summer. Yeah, like the Spice Girls, but like, yeah, summers.
I like that.
We got to rap a couple verses in C2E2, which was fun, so
That's right.
we've teased a little bit of it. And if Ryan Elder, our genius music, or composer for the show, is gonna hear and see this, I mean, you know, maybe we could do a musical episode. He's super talented, the music on the show is fantastic, and you know, if he's got any verses that he wanted to hear Rick sing, I'm game.
We need like a Rick and Morty vinyl record. We need like a cool vinyl collectible with some Rick and Morty songs that we do.
Fantastic idea.
Right?
And there we go,
And
holiday album.
they're gonna totally do it.
Somebody had me sign a CD of the Rick and Morty soundtrack, but I don't know if that's an official thing or like just a bootleg thing. I don't know. I've never heard of it. So.
What do you guys think? Musical episode, yes or no? Okay. Oh, there's the answer. Okay, right on.
How many of you hate musicals? There was like a silence in one section. I'm like, no.
This was a question that popped through. What animated characters influenced you growing up?
Ren and Stimpy, Invader Zim, The Simpsons, obviously. Oh, Eon Flux is like my favorite, right? MTV, man, they had some great content back in the day.
Animaniacs. Yes. The burping again. And Winnie the Pooh, I would say. Yeah.
I also really liked the Beetlejuice animation that they had, right? Back in the day.
Batman, the animated series. Yeah, no. I watched all the, Batman, Superman, Justice League cartoons. That was, and then of course The Simpsons. Yeah.
I mean, I think The Simpsons for sure, like, even because my dad was on a Sideshow Bob on The Simpsons, right? So, like, and that episode, like the Cape Fear episode, is, I think, one of the best episodes they ever did. Like, a standalone episode, because he's, like, singing, and my dad actually won an Emmy for that, but I think that definitely has influenced me to be like, yeah, I could do that. I went when he was doing the animation that he did, Anastasia. I was there when he was recording that at one point. So I guess I kind of got to see what the whole process was. And I went, oh, animation's great. Like, you be in a little booth and there are people around all the time and you're just like in this quiet space. It's the best. It's the best.
Simpsons, definitely. It's hard to say what influenced me, but I watched all the Looney Tunes stuff and all of that, and quite enjoyed it. Scooby-Doo. The Jetsons. There's one called Star Blazers. Star Blazer? I think that's it. Yeah, about a spaceship. Yeah, it's a long time ago.
There was a question from Doofus Jerry, who's a big Jerry fan, because the question is, what are y'all getting Jerry for his birthday?
Apples.
Apples.
Getting an Apple memorabilia, Apple products, Apple things just with apples on them,
I don't know if he wants to be reminded of that.
He gets to go to the Apple world for a period of time.
Apple computer.
Yeah.
I saw a really nice shirt. I think it was green and had like a brown stripe going across, and then like another brown stripe and a collar. I think it looked good in it.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
A job interview.
So in addition to a musical episode, the fans want to know, will there ever be a Rick and Morty movie? What do y'all think about that?
Maybe.
100 years Rick and Morty.
Probably.
Who knows?
They make a movie out of everything, so I mean, yeah. When they're ready for it, they'll probably do maybe.
Skip straight to the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Probably. We don't know. We haven't.
They don't tell me. They don't. They really don't. Like
Ian and Harry, how was it to record Unmoored Rickon? How did you prepare for such an intense episode?
I had a similar recording moment to Harry's point earlier with the gargling water and everything, where to get the sound of blood in Rick Grimes' mouth and teeth coming out, things like that, I had to stuff all kinds of things in my gums and guzzled honey, and there was all kinds of different tricks. We just had a buffet of stuff to try to get the right sound, and so I saved my script from that day because there's just spattered gushers and fruit leather and gauze and all kinds of stuff to get that sound of the intense beating that Rick Grimes is taking. So,
Auction that off.
what's that?
Should auction that off, that script.
That's a great idea. It's a nice keepsake though. But yeah, that one took a toll. The fighting definitely took a toll.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah, for me, I really was, it was probably my favorite episode to record because I got to play Evil Morty, but also the whole time I was just like, man, can we just like skip to this being done so I just watch it? Like, I don't want to like, you know, like I want to watch this for the first time knowing nothing about this, you know, because I just know that fan Harry would just be like, what? Yeah, Evil Morty, oh, we're fighting everything out, like, you know, and so it was, you know, it was obviously amazing to do the whole thing, but I just, the fan part of me was like, oh man, wish I could just go into that blind, you know?
Well, and also, you know, with these roles, Rick and Morty, we get to play so many different versions of them. I mean, it's really not just one role, it's multiple, which is a gift as an actor. And that episode was the first one where I got to try on the voices for different Ricks that we see. And so that was a moment when it was a bit more open to my interpretation. And there is a little bit of an accented Rick there. There's an Indiana Jones Rick. You know, some fun ones in there that I get to play with, which are, you know, a little more original and fun. Hope we get more of those ones.
There was a question that came through about fan art and cosplay, and you know, when you are going to these conventions, I'm sure you see some great cosplay, you get to see some great art that folks have made. In your interactions at the tables, is there anything memorable that really sticks with you from some of those interactions?
Well, I had a Scary Terry today.
Yeah, we just met Scary
Yeah.
Terry. It was great.
Yeah, it was pretty
He
great
had his
costume.
mask and everything. It was like an old, I was like, how'd you do this? He's like, it's an old guy mask, and then I painted it. Scary Terry was fantastic.
It was.
And yeah. But I've met, lots of Jerrys. Lots of Jerry. No, I met a Jerry once, but then there are lots of Ricks. I meet lots of Ricks.
Yeah,
Lots of rings.
had a great Rick today. Yeah,
A couple of summers.
It's so cool seeing how the show touches so many people everywhere and in different ways. So to see the art coming back here, you know, at events such as this and also on social media, it's really cool to see the reach that it has and the impact that it has.
Yeah, and
Keep making art, everyone,
yeah.
and showing it to us.
Yes, the effort that it takes to put a costume like that together too is like, you know, really remarkable.
There was a question about if your family still eats spaghetti.
Ian texted me the night that episode premiered and just like sent me a photo of like a huge bowl of spaghetti. And I was like, all right,
I leaned so into it.
that's the way you're gonna go with it.
To be fair, I eat spaghetti most nights because Italian. But no, I grew up having spaghetti Thursdays with my grandfather. So when I read this script, the simulation man is broken. It was. I got to draw on that. Now we made our spaghetti differently, but yeah, it's we don't look at it the same way. Yeah, that's for sure.
No. Yeah.
One of my best friends had not seen the show, and his son watched Rick and Morty, so
Well, we already, I mean, throughout the audition process, it's deep into the audition process. Harry and I were reading for both roles.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We kind of, don't take this the wrong way, but you know,
Okay.
we've got to sort of, we've got to sort of try on the other voices, and you know, that's been a fun exploration. Or
Yeah.
was at the time.
Yes. I was told my Rick was too Italian.
Fancy over here.
I think if I could play one other character though, let's bring back Probobulous Michael. Love that guy.
I loved Flight of the Conchords, so maybe I could play Fart. That's another. Maybe I want to do another song too. Maybe that's what it
We
is.
want more music in this. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can sing more. Yeah.
Y'all, what do you think Rick would have seen if he actually went into that fear hole with Morty?
Rick?
So, just a black hole.
I'm sure whatever it was, it will be confronted in season 8 and beyond. That's what those fears are. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna do it.
Tease them.
Who really else season 8? This question comes with a compliment. Nice cowboy boots.
Thank you. Oh,
Will the
it's like a stalker out there. They're like, I love your cowboy boots. I see you wearing them over there. Just in the corner watching. Yeah.
Who ready to read the rules?
No, it's okay.
Will we ever get an Old West, Red Dead Redemption, outlaw, Western type episode? I know y'all don't write the show, so what would you like to see in an episode like that?
I God, it'd be so cool. I'd be like running a saloon. I'd be like running a brothel, you know? There'd be like I want like an episode where there's like a Citadel of Summers, I think. I just want like a brothel of Summers. It's like its own planet.
Jerry would be a horse, maybe.
There's been some really crazy crossovers just across all sci-fi where, you know, aliens and cowboys, you know, and where tech and in the desert in the Old West has been infused, and I would love to see our animators' takes on what that world looks like, for sure.
We did a little bit in the, was it Two Crows, Rick, or something? It was like, yeah, I see a little bit of that.
Yeah, if Morty is anything like the way I play Red Dead Redemption, I think just like a lot of corpses everywhere. You know, I think he just go kind of like the Purge episode. I think he just let loose a little bit. You know.
My husband spends a lot of time picking flowers when he's playing.
Oh, okay.
Just walking the room when
I didn't know you could do that.
flowers.
I didn't know you could.
I shoot the flowers.
There was a question about crossovers, and if there was another series that y'all had an opportunity to do a Rick and Morty crossover with, what series would that be, and sort of what would you want to do with that?
I mean, we had the couch gag in The Simpsons, like that one year, which I was like, that's it, I can die now. We've made it. But it's really hard to say. There's so much great animation.
It's true.
Yeah, there's too much to choose from. I mean, in the Jaricki episode, we sampled burgers from throughout the multiverse, but we haven't been to Bob's Burgers, so far as I know. We paid a visit there. That must have some lunch.
BoJack Horseman, maybe? Oh no, that's just that would probably tonally work really well. Archer?
Yeah.
All right, y'all.
That was Rick's enabler who shouted that one out.
So we're coming up on the end of our time together. We've had multiple questions about going to McDonald's come up, and what are you getting? So since I keep seeing it from multiple people, we're gonna pop through. What is your McDonald's order?
I usually get a cheeseburger Happy Meal with no pickles, no onions.
French fries. I only order French fries. That's it. That's it.
Also, there's a big, just so we know, there's a big McDonald's promotion team that's out there today, so
They're putting in work.
yeah, they keep
Having around. Okay, so it depends on the day. I'm gonna go like usually it's like 2 McDoubles and then like extra pickles, or if it's like a light day, just like regular quarter pounder with cheese, and then I'll put my own like light mayo on at home. So that's what I. Yeah, it's a hack.
I'll pull a quote and say, burger and fries. And, I usually eat my wife's pickles. She doesn't like them, so that's a good trade-off there.
But if you give us some free McDonald's, I'll eat whatever you want. How's that? Please. Give us all the fries you got.
Y'all, thank you so much for your time today.